Welcome everyone. My name is Dan Church and I'm a second-year master's student at York University. Today I'll be presenting my master's research proposal on exploring elite female youth hockey teams' shared leadership through coach and athlete leaders' experiences. Over the past 25 years, most of the research in sport has focused on the coach as leader. It's important to note that there has been an evolution in coaching styles over time, from authoritarian coach to directive coach to a supportive coaching style, and most recently to collaborative coaching. What we see initially from authoritarian and directive coaching styles is unidirectional leadership from club to coach to captain to athlete and team. But as coaching has evolved to become more supportive and collaborative, leadership has become multidirectional and shared between club, coach, and athlete. The next phase of sport leadership research focused on the captain as leader. However, in the last decade, we have come to see that neither the coach nor the captain is the be-all nor end-all when it comes to leadership. As Franzen and colleagues pointed out in their 2014 study, a study of more than 4,000 players and coaches, it was revealed that in only 1% of teams was the captain perceived as the best leader across the 4 leadership roles. I'll discuss the 4 athlete leadership roles in more detail in a moment, but what this and other studies have shown since is that team captains are mainly selected because of attributes that are not directly related to leadership, and that this selection process is often underpinned by the non-leadership factors such as experience, sport-specific competence, or irrelevant attributes such as nepotism. So athlete leadership extends beyond the team captain, and my preferred definition of the athlete leader is an athlete occupying a formal or informal role within a team who influences a group of team members to achieve a common goal. It should be noted that like coach leadership, athlete leadership, and the understanding of leadership roles has evolved within the literature from 1950 to present. The present literature has identified 4 athlete leader roles: task leader, motivational leader, social leader, and external leader. These are subdivided into on-field leadership roles and off-field leadership roles. A task leader is someone who focuses the team on goals and objectives while on the field. A motivational leader steers all of the emotions of team and teammates while on the field of play. A social leader promotes good relations within the team and a good team atmosphere off of the field. And an external leader is a link between the team and people outside of the team, like media and sponsors. Why is this important? It's been shown that teams with high quality athlete leadership are characterized by high levels of team confidence and strong task and social cohesion. Present thinking is that shared leadership structure is most effective integrating formal leadership roles like the captain and alternate captains and informal leadership roles. Franzen and colleagues observed that shared leadership leads to higher levels of confidence, team identification, and higher ranking compared to a single team captain model. The diagram on the right illustrates a social network analysis of 3 professional rugby teams from Franzen and colleagues in 2017. The nodes represent players. The bigger the node, the more influence the player has on their teammates. The lines represent interconnections or ties between athletes, and this diagram overall illustrates the web of interconnectivity and influence that exists within a team. Looking towards gaps in future research. Does leadership look different depending on the sport? A lot of research has focused on soccer, rugby, field hockey, handball, etc. And while ice hockey has been studied, almost all of those studies have focused on male ice hockey. Another question is whether leadership roles differ between sports because of the dynamics of in-game structure. For example, soccer, which is a continuous sport and players are on the field of play with little or no coach interaction, except for a break at halftime, versus a sport like ice hockey, where players go on in shifts and have much more frequent contact with their coach throughout the game. While there have been studies into the ideal number of leaders in specific roles, what is the ideal structure when considering formal versus informal roles, and how does the captain integrate into a shared leadership model? How does the team maximize their leadership potential? And how does the coach and team captain leadership style compatibility factor into this? Greater clarity can also be gained on the process of selecting the team captain and leadership group, and what factors contribute to this successful model. And finally, while studies have shown that male and female athletes place greater emphasis on different athlete leader roles, do males and females lead differently? The purpose of my research is to explore shared coach and athlete leadership within elite youth female hockey teams. Globally, as of 2018, there were more than 205,000 registered female hockey players. And in 2019, 39 countries applied to enter their national teams in the IIHF World Championships. In Canada, there are more than 101,000 registered female players, more than 81,000 playing at the child and youth level, ages 3 to 18, and more than 12,000 players at the under 18 age division. Within that division, there are 100 plus club teams competing at the elite AAA or AA level. And at this level, coaches are required to have their High Performance 1 coach education, one of the highest designations in the National Coaching Certification Program. For the purposes of my study, I'll be focusing on the under 18 age group because both the players and the coaches are the most advanced in their hockey careers in terms of experience, knowledge, and education in hockey. And this age group and level is similar to leadership studies, which have been taken place in men's ice hockey. The study design will see 12 coaches and athlete pairs, which will be purposely sampled for representation across Canada. Coaches will be recruited first, and those willing to participate will then connect with an athlete leader on their team to see if they would be willing to participate. Only complete coach-athlete dyads will be interviewed. The study will take a phenomenological approach to understanding the leadership experiences of coaches and athletes in female ice hockey. Participants will engage in semi-structured interview toward the end of their season. And by conducting the interviews towards the end of the season, it will have allowed a leadership model to emerge, leadership roles to be established, and relationships between the coach and athlete leader to develop. Data will be analyzed drawing upon Braun and Clark's thematic analysis with particular consideration to gaining insight into leadership approaches and team outcomes. Interview questions are divided into 3 sections: to understand the coach, athlete, leader, and their sport background and experience, to understand their perceptions of leadership in general and their fit into the team leadership, and finally, to understand the leadership structure within the team and the athlete leadership roles that exist in the team environment. At this point, I have to acknowledge that I'm an insider in the female ice hockey community, having coached at the university level for 23 years, most recently 16 years as the head coach at York University. As Ruben and Ruben state in their work, part of the process of engaging in a phenomenological study is continuously examining one's own understanding of and reaction to the data collected. And therefore, I will regularly engage in reflexive journaling. I'll take a collaborative approach to the data to ensure I have captured the responses of participants accurately. And by regularly debriefing with critical friends with expertise in the area of coaching, leadership development, and positive youth development to ensure that I challenge my views, assumptions, and interpretations. I'd like to thank you for listening to my presentation today. I want to thank my lab mates for their continued feedback and support, and I look forward to answering any questions that you may have.